Call this meeting of the Mitchell Board of Works to order, July 2nd, 2026. We're all present here, I see. You have a copy of last month's minutes. Take a look and see if there needs to be any additions or corrections. I would make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. All right, we will begin looking at the claims.
Pass the generator to Carlos. Is he with it? Or do you want him to go?
Let me step out just a second. I'll be right back.
Please?
Must mean he's doing right. Tonight, no. Looks like the flyover for, Bedford should be decent.
Yeah, and the only thing that, the only one was mowing and running it, the message. Besides that, I'm all right.
I know you will. I want you.
Yeah, okay.
Email. It was like 2-3 days after I did mine.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, I saved it, so I can go back and pay it
Mm.
later. Yeah, it is nice.
Well, yeah, it'll save us money, more people we can get to sign up. We're not spending that on postage, so.
Right.
You know, you save a little more, whatever you do, it needs more. Your age, it's your age. I hate to lose my kid. Sensitive to death.
And that's really, what, July the third, right? July the third sound?
Yeah, the sound, it's gonna accompany the.
All right, that's right, okay.
Guy or Daisy Dukes.
There goes my idea. There goes my idea. So,
seeing those invoices reminds me that they've got 8 leaks fixed in,
It's good.
well, as of this morning, this week.
Yeah.
But that's because we had outside contractors doing several.
$65. I only saw was the 65. I couldn't figure out why it was turned out to be that.
Hiding from you. Alright. We'll make a motion that we approve the claims as presented.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Claims have been approved.
Now with our new software, it splits them up by water, sewer, and, general, so you've got 3 things to sign this time. And then the payroll report looks different, working on, to get something similar to what we had before. This breaks it down by each appropriation, so there's money, like some people are paid for more than one appropriation line, like sanitation and MDH, and then, it has the appropriation account, and then it has the cash account, so the money comes out of cash, goes into, the appropriation, and, or you debit one, credit the other, and then it goes through the payroll as a credit and a debit as well. So there's a lot more information on this, so I kinda put some notes on there so you could kinda see this how this payroll breaks out, but it's where they're paid from, their FICA is listed in there, just more information than there was before. So it looks like a lot more stuff, but it's the same amount, but it's accounted for through the cash account and the payroll account. So, pass that around, and the back 2 pages have the, like just the totals, it breaks it down by each employee, but the back 2 pages just give you the total, similar to what we had before. So again, that's not necessarily the check amount, but it's what is, accounted for in the system. Our old system didn't do the debits and the credits, sort of thing, so you didn't see where the money came from and where it went to. It was just accounted for in one system, so that's why that looks different. Few extra steps in there, so.
before we,
Well, that's all the transactions, that's not the total of the payroll, because again, it's showing how the money is moving, so that's not their check total,
okay,
that's the moving from cash to the appropriation,
right.
so it's different, so I'm working on getting something similar to what we had before. So the last two pages are kind of breaks it down by each appropriation.
Say the check register's got check numbers.
That's not it, no, that's not it, you can take that.
You're done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the payroll.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Payroll has been approved.
And I have utility adjustments for last month, and again, this also looks different. It adds in there, adjustments for, shut off fees and some other stuff, so it's a little bit different. I highlighted the adjustment reasons. Thank you.
Same thing, just a different look.
Just
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
motion that we accept, utility adjustments as presented.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then the last thing I have is, with council approval, we've been pushing a lot of miscellaneous bank accounts into the general bank account. So we have like a ordinance account and small NDOT, so we've got just some various accounts that we didn't need to keep separate. So now we pulled all these together. I was talking to our financial advisor and they think we have, you know, enough, ourselves sorted well enough to put some of this money into a CD, just so we can make a little more interest over the next, few months. So I just would like approval to pursue that further and possibly open up a CD with the overage in it. In the past, we've got two CDs now. I don't think we did this where you're supposed to, you're supposed to designate which fund you're putting in the CD. And so they wanna take a look and see how we're structured right now, and then they'll make a recommendation on, you know, what money goes there. We do have some funds, that have money in it, but we don't really use it a lot, or it's more than, you know, we've got it in our budget for the next year, so it would be okay to, again, we can always pull it back out if we need it, but we put ourselves in a pretty good situation where we have a little bit of a cushion now, so they think that would be a smart idea to maximize our interest, so that works for you all.
We already have funds in, CDs.
Yes, yeah, we have savings accounts for like the water meter, sewer meter. We have, some of the cemetery money in a CD, and then we have 2 CDs for the general fund already, so we try to keep them in higher yield,
Right.
accounts. So obviously, the more interest we earn, the better it alleviates the pressure on other things, so, we got our first tax levy, Donna and I were talking about it, our tax draw, and it was 67,000 plus a little bit less than our one last year, so we are definitely seeing those funds drop as the property tax changes are in effect. So,
Well, I would make a motion that we could be allowed to explore that. These short-term CDs, which
Yeah.
you can see they're both short-term, rolling
14
months or 5 months.
5 months.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
okay, public comments, I'm gonna need to, I'll scoot over there, and you'll have to go up to the, in here, but I get my camera sorted. Okay. Yeah,
Ready?
ready.
Gentlemen, ladies, I'm coming before the board today to request a increase in my hourly wage. I am I guess for the better part of knowledge, I mow lawns basically for the city of Mitchell. I do the parks, the city hall, our common areas. On top of that, I also am a mechanic, so I do the maintenance on all the police vehicles. I've done maintenance on quite a few of the city vehicles as far as brakes, oil changes, things like that that are needed. I'm just requesting a raise increase of $3.29 an hour. And that would make me at $20 an hour. From the $16.71 right now. I believe that for my purpose, working with the city, when I first started seasonal part-time, I had no problems with whatever the wage was at that point. But now that I do oil changes and brake jobs and stuff like that for the PD, as well as, and that's also not during regular working hours. I don't think I've ever kept regular working hours. So when the guys that are on third shift need an oil change, they can come to me at my shop, pull in, I do an inspection on the vehicle and an oil change. check brakes, tires, suspension, things like that. If they have any other issues such as ACs going out in this hot weather, they come to me immediately and I'm trying to address that issue. Apart from that, I've helped out in several areas of the city, such as, the pool this year, getting the showers up to snuff with the plumbing, which I believe every one of them's working now. And I also think I fixed a toilet, so a little plumbing, a little electrical, do a little of mechanic work, and I guess that's it.
Is that in the 1300 block of Brook Street?
Yes, it is. 1306.
I've seen you out there doing a lot of work,
I appreciate it.
and with police vehicles there and
Yep.
things of that nature.
And that's one thing that I also try and push too, is if somebody comes to me with a brake job or an oil change, that they're just a normal, regular citizen, I let them know, well, if I have a police vehicle show up, yours goes to the back burner. Because these guys need to have their vehicles up, running, ready, maintained, cause it's you never just go for a Sunday cruise in a cruiser. Being a reserve officer also, I know exactly the strain and stress that those vehicles go through. So,
Well, there's no doubt that, you bring a lot to the table.
I appreciate
and
that.
You're a good asset to the city workforce.
I appreciate
I
that.
do think that any change like this is gonna have to go before the council for approval. Because it would be a change in the salary ordinance, which I don't think the Board of Works can change ordinances. But, I certainly would be willing to make a pitch on your behalf.
Okay. Very good.
About how many hours you do in a week's time?
I don't think I'd go above 32. As a matter of fact, with mowing and mechanic work, I think the most I've ever done in a 2-week span was about 40 hours. So I'm well under the full-time
Right.
position, so. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, AJ.
Is that it?
I guess, anything else?
So that'll be passed on to the, city council.
For consideration?